Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of Magic Arena Run. Today we are taking a look at Midweek Magic. It is the On the Edge event. So last time it was block construct. Last time was block constructed, just cards from Outlaws of Thunder Junction. Now we get a few more sets. Basically Lost Caverns of Ixalan, Murders at Karlov Manor. Decided to keep things relatively simple, especially with how good Green Red is supposedly in draft right now. And it's a good time to revisit some of the older hits from Lost Caverns, particularly all them big dinos. So this is base dinos, but we do have a few non-dinos here. Axebane Ferox from Murders at Karlov Manor, some colossal rattleworms from Outlaws. Oh, this one's from Ixalan. Primarily, we're running it for Cactus Folk Sure Shot. Being able to get the trample and haste is a very big deal. Also running a few copies of Jolene because we are trying to ramp up to our trumpeting Carnosaurs or railway brawlers. Okay, this one might be a bit much, but this does double as our removal, and we kind of need a good amount of removal. We are running some triumphant chomps, some hard-hitting questions, some abrades, some glimpse the course for ramp, and we're running a few sharp-eyed rookies just to get us additional card draw. Probably would want to rebalance some of these things here. Also note we are running Restless Ridgeline because we happen to have all of them. We don't really need the turn 1 drop that much. Turn 2 is nice but optional. We're really playing on turn 3, so that is something for us to keep an eye on. Lots of ETB tap lands, but hopefully our opponent is not that fast. Otherwise, we're going to have to go back to the drawing board and add them shocks, there's the stop. So this one, it's a bit sketchy because these are all our 4 drops. I'll have to play Commercial District first just to make sure we hit. I'm willing to keep this one to C, but okay. I guess a braid turn 2 is fine. It buys us some time. I'd probably still name Dinosaur no matter what. Opponent drew into that now. This could be okay, not too bad. I'm still gonna name Dinosaur here. And we're going to use the Glimpse the Core, grab our forest. This sets us up for a lot of things. Sets us up for Axebane Ferox. Opponent going for Slime Against Humanity. Also note we don't have a desert quite yet, so ooh, this is interesting. We have a bit of a choice here. I'm gonna just lead on Cactus Folk Sure Shot because of Ward, and we can probably just go ham on these two. Well, with this one, also have to keep an eye out. Well, if it's hard hitting question, it's okay. Mirage Maze is fine. That gives us a desert. We can plot this, but we can't quite cast it. I would say. Yeah, let's just drop this. Let's see if our opponent's willing to give up their 2 tokens for this. They are. Also note that we do have an exile ability. We can use it to search for a desert, which is quite neat. Opponent's, yeah, going for Mercenary, Warrior, Mercenary. Unfortunately, our creature types are all over the place, so Dinosaur is still the best answer here. So my best bet is to actually just play Axebane Ferox. Swing with this one. Trample Death Touch means that we can actually just trample. We can still trample over, and we can hold. We can still hold the break. One is probably gonna start emptying out, get their 5/5 and 6/6. We can buy some time in the meantime. Hard hitting question deals damage equal to power, so yeah, we. Yeah, that's one of the better ways to answer this. Doesn't mean much for us though. So Hulking Raptor gives us a 5/3, which is neat. It also helps that no matter how many of these our opponent draws, it's still quite slow. Opponent's incentivized to hit. I agree. Slime Against Humanity for X6, sure. Into a set 7. Okay, starting to get a bit out of hand here. So this does give us an 8/8. Probably not going to swing with this one because it just gets eaten. We'll just have to be judicious about our blocks. One is going for it. I'm trying to think. Yeah, I figured it might just be a hard-hitting question at this point. If they're just gonna buff this, it's a +1/+1 counter. It's quite negligible in the sight of an 8. So let's see, 13. And I could have actually cast the Cycloraptor as well, but I probably want it as a blocker. And there you go. We could also untap this as well. So, yeah, so I like the Slime Against Humanity concept, but it really needs haste. I would suggest our opponent branch out to red as well. I was considering that bit. But yeah, you want to branch out a little bit. Even if it has trample already, but the haste is such a big deal here. Pylon is also, though that would not be available for this particular event. That one is an Aftermath card. No, not Aftermath. It's just March of the Machines. Machine. Someone continuing the legacy of Tamio. So definitely keeping this one. Just Ridgeline into Glimpse the Core, then let's see if our opponent has a spell stutter for this. Does not. We don't have double red here except for Trumpeting Carnosaur, so we're kind of okay there. Now, if our opponent holds this up, I'm probably just going to... I'm just going to play the Hulking Raptor. This is basically counterspell bait. I would not be... Yep. No, it's just draw card, investigate. Okay, that's fine. This allows us to do like Pugnacious Hammer Skull into Triumphant Chomp if we have to. When it's gonna... The ward is such a big deal here. Opponent going for Jaded Analyst. So let's see, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I can attack with just the Hammer Skull. Opponent is now gonna have to start catching up. They might start sniping one of our creatures, but yeah, Hammer Skull's the cheapest one to snipe. I would agree with that. Opponent could draw a second card, but Vigilance against 4/4 not that great. They might have. I don't think they have I don't think they have a plus power combat trick. Opponent's just gonna pass. They also, let's see, how much is this? 3/4 green dinosaur. So how much is this to activate? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, I'm going to activate this. Let's see how our opponent responds to this. Like, they could snipe the Hammer Skull. Lost in the Maze. Tap X target creatures. They could tap these two. And let's see, we are in combat, so no point tapping this one. We'll let that resolve. Yeah, I'm willing to let this go. Oh. Sharp pointed going for a chart, of course. Lost in the Maze is a weird one. It is very good defensively, I agree, but opponent discards a Seize the Secrets. I'm gonna see what they have in response, because this is just enough. No trample, no haste. Actually, no. It will give this trample and haste, but it'll be a bit too late for that because this is an attack trigger to untap, and it only untaps attacking creatures. One is just gonna eat it. Oh, and it stays a creature. That's an interesting side effect. So that's something good to know. Our opponent is missing. I suspect they're missing the second black source to hit the board wipe. If you're to do, okay, they hit their black source, so murder is available, but they're gonna need to answer the Cactus Fork Sure Shot. Steam Core weird. That's way too late. Yeah, that's a good game. That one. Yeah, it feels like our opponent was a bit slow in the setup. It was probably the land. That was probably the issue. If anything, it tells us how important dual hands really are. Like, you're not gonna survive on basics alone. And even as a monocolor deck, there are some lands that you want as utility that you're willing to have them. It's nice that they clarified that. Well, yeah, they have to clarify the difference between rank badge and rank levels on that one. Also, yeah, probably should show the deck list since it's definitely working now. We are a bit on the slow take here. We won't be able to. I am gonna keep this, but I'm gonna show the side effect of not having enough untapped lands. Opponent leads on the Seraphic Steed, which is gonna be really annoying. Oh, we can. Oh, wait, but we can chomp this. We don't. That's fine. Set them back now while we can. Cycloraptor would have been our other go-to for that. When it hits a Rambling Possum. I'm gonna play the Sharp-Eyed Rookie, just to start netting us some card draw. Like, we can do Cycloraptor next turn, or we can do Trumpet. We'll see what our opponent does with this one. If our opponent goes for a kill spell on Sharp-Eyed, it's fine. No, just a Seraphic Steed. They can crew this. We'll take. Now, I definitely cannot let this one live. But I think our opponent knows that also, so... I wonder if they... Oh, that's why they're going to just return it. We'll take the hit. If they replay it... Ugh. So, we'll name green here. Also have to remember that this does have vigilance, so we do have the option to block if we need to. Also, we know that this has haste because we have enough deserts already. But yeah, opponent goes Congregation Griff. We're just gonna have to take the beats. We're gonna have to take the beats like a good boy for now. Like, I can see the argument of playing Cactus Folk Sure Shot, but we'll see what we have. Bristling Backwoods. Yeah, unfortunately. Yeah, hitting. If this was an untapped land, I would have gone Sharp-Eyed Rookie, Cycloraptor right away. Instead, I'm going to do... I'm actually going to attack with this one, see if our opponent's willing to... Okay, opponent's not going to block. That figures. Now, this will get... Now, this is all mounts. So, this will become a 3/6, which is annoying. I'm going to see how our opponent decides to crew, though. Okay, they're going to crew... they're going to saddle that one. This was probably going to saddle this one. Okay, that makes sense. Okay, so I'm gonna let all this trigger first, see how it stacks up. Because I think, yeah, 6556, that is a trade. Which I will have to take. One, it could bounce Miriam. Oh, they could... Oh! And they did not stack the triggers carefully because but now I need to hit. Oh, now here comes my untapped lands. Miriam is going to be the big liability here. Opponent could just start swinging with this one. Yes. As you can see, green-white is really powerful if you can hit all this. I would not be surprised if the correct... having more removal would be correct here. Opponent doesn't even need to swing. I am forced to block because that is almost lethal. But that's what? 3/6? Okay. This will only hit for 2. If I cast this, it will make it hit for 4. Ugh, the Carnosaur would have been nice. That would have given us a 7 and hit that one, but that's not gonna happen. And yeah, it's a bit late to hit Miriam at this point. There you go. But that was fine. It does tell us that yeah, that was a really slow opener on our part. I would probably cut one or two of the restless lands for something that ETBs untap. So that is something to keep in mind. I do have to keep the backwoods and the Mirage Mesas just for the Colossal Rattleworms. But the Restless Ridgelines, they were quite important, but yeah, we only have like 13 untapped lands. This one I can't really keep. Like if we need to hit for Jolene ASAP. I'll give it a try because at least we have Triumphant Chomp on turn 2. Opponent has the Frantic Scapegoat. I don't think I'm gonna snipe this one. I'll see what the next card is. But yeah, I'm probably gonna make adjustments to have more untapped lands. If any, it tells us how important those pain lands were. Yeah, this is now our snipe. That's now our good snipe target for us. One is going for red-white haste, so a lot of aggro here. We'll take that. Now we have an interesting proposition. I could play Jolene, swing, then hope to hit our treasures. Our opponent could likewise have removal for us, in which case this would be really bad for us. Opponent. So this one is we're hoping to hit another land running. I would probably up the number of Glimpse the Course and then just make adjustments to my mana base as well. Thankfully our opponent did get stuck here. So I'm gonna lead on Cyclaw Raptor first because this does require this requires the larger removal spell. Opponent seems to be missing red mana, but I think they should be fine with this. Also, we want to have more creatures with reach. It's not just the sure shots. Catarantula is also an option here if we're going for this many. If our opponent swings with the Scapegoat, I'm just going to take it. And since our opponent's not doing anything, I'm just going to play Jolene. I am going to pass. I'm going to wait for the sure shot, I guess. Then swing. Alternately, I could swing with these two, then just hold up the 2 mana sack to ping the Scapegoat if it gets to that. It really depends what our opponent's next drop is. Makeshift Binding makes sense. By doing that, they do gain the life. I actually considered adding a few more dinosaurs to the mix here. Now this one I'm just going for the token. Let's see if our opponent does have removal. They probably do. Yeah, not on my watch. That's fine. I was after the treasure token primarily. We probably want to start dropping our ward creatures now though. So our opponent is sitting on a lot of removal and just hold. Okay. Yeah, Axebane Ferox is a neat combo. Ooh, Aurelia the Law above. Opponent. Let's see what their 1 mana spell is. Now Okay, they did have. Okay, they did have that. Okay, that one's a bit annoying, but it's nice to know that nice to remember that instant exists. So we're just gonna have to do it again. If our opponent has it again, let's go for it because we still have one more Cactus Folk Sure Shot. Petrify, pay to ward. Yeah, we're gonna need to drop our... Well, there isn't a braid. I'm not gonna attack because that is our blocker. Opponent has another Frantic Scapegoat. Unfortunately, it's a bit too late to drop that, and I can just upgrade this and... Oh, they're most like... Okay, they're gonna hit us for 1. So we can glimpse the core, grab another land, then upgrade the Scapegoat. Yeah, just gonna deny. Because our opponent is gonna try to attack with 3 creatures. They do want to draw that card. Ruin Lurker Bat. Yeah, they were going for the aggro plan. So they definitely want to draw that card. If they swing now, I'm just gonna block it. That's a given. Sure, we'll start taking damage here, but I know we can start hitting back with these guys. But yeah, having more reach would be nice. I'm gonna consider adding Catarantulas here. So I could actually just wait for this. Because I'm not in an attacking position. Also tells us that I probably want more heart. Okay. Could I just take it? No, because one creature just kills us. Yeah, might as well play this now. But yeah, this is our second loss in a row. We definitely want to have more. We definitely want to have more removal now. Primarily, we want to have outs against flying creatures, and we want to have some outs against enchantments as well. So we did have outs against artifacts. I was expecting quite a bit of them, though. Actually, let's double check. Is the big score sheet part of this? Outlaws, it doesn't specify, just as, but I'm pretty sure Big Score is part of the set, so I guess if there's anything we want to change here, it is going to be either our reach or our burn spells. So a braid is cute. I'm gonna take a look at what are the ones that are instant speed. They're definitely gonna be 2 mana. Throw from the Saddle is sorcery speed, so not in consideration. Archdruid's Charm is an instant, but it is a bit heavy on the mana. Yeah, actually there isn't that much in the way of choice. I guess I can sneak in the Free Strider Lookout. Potney's Final Strike is an instant, but that's 3 mana. Yeah, we're looking at 3 mana territory at this point. And the spree spell with destroy target enchantment is in white. That's also another thing. Bloomkins for forest. I guess pick your poison is a way around this. It's a weird one. We are heavier green, so I am willing to try it out. I think I can go down one Jolene. We'll give this one a. I'll try it just once here, see if this one works. But I would not be surprised if it's more cute than anything. The ward was helpful though. So backwoods into glimpse the core. Okay, this is our preferred sequence. Opponent does get to go first. Depending on what. Okay, no early drop from our opponent. So we can do glimpse the core into what's basically turn 3. I can snipe this now, just get it over with. But let's develop our mana because we definitely need that going. So we can do Hammer Skull into Triumphant Chomp. It's also neat if our opponent goes for a Hammer Skull. Okay, they didn't have the mana, so no Hammer Skull of their own. Into an Ixali's Lore Keeper. I considered adding this, but I'm gonna take the Lore Keeper because our opponent is having mana issues. That might have been a mistake. No, opponent conceded. That was not a mistake. We guessed right. So the extra hard hitting question is good. Had not tested the pick your poison yet. It is super sideboardy if I may say so myself, but it's probably okay. Yeah, I guess hey Bonnie Paul. Let's try one more match. Is Stompy the deck to beat? Not quite. We saw the red-white deck. That one could have used some tuning, but okay, so we have options here. This is sorcery speed too, so that is a bit annoying, but basically we can, depending what our opponent does, we can either chomp or we can chomp ult to pick your poison. It's a good thing we got this one because now we get to test it. Tornado would have been also another option. 2 mana to cycle if you don't need it. Is a thing. We definitely want our 4th mana for Axebane Ferox. If I see anything like a Warden of the Sky, yep, that's snipe worthy. Opponent might be going for the Glee. This could just be go white, but it could also be Gleeful Demolition deck. No, you're just stuck, so let's see if our opponent has the enchantment base removal. In that case, pick your poison is gonna be the tester here. Otherwise, I'm gonna go for probably Axebane Ferox. Probably Axebane Ferox first. Or I could go, if our opponent drops creatures, I do Cactus Folk Sure Shots just to get the trample going. If our opponent does not drop creatures, I'll go for Axebane Ferox. Yeah, they did not. Also helps that, yeah, if you're mono... mono white at that low, you're not gonna have enough creatures to go for to pay the ward. Opponent looks like they're really stuck on mana though. 3 planes and nothing else. I suspect this is a red-white deck. In which case, yeah, play more dual lands. Though, oh, there's a caveat here. Half of the dual lands are in Wilds of Eldraine. Half the restless lands are in Wilds of Eldraine. So if this is white-red, they won't have access to those. But they will have... Oh, it's white-green. Okay. Let's figure poison. My bad. I want to glimpse the core. Stomp this because this does get out of hand really quickly. And I'm going to swing with just this because the opponent might have an exile-based effect. Yeah, you do have access to the fast lands though. It's so gonna tilt. They set this to Druid. As a stun counter, it doesn't really matter. Okay, so pick your poison is a decent option. I wish there was a better one that's more main deckable. This one is super sideboard. I'll take it for what it is. Ooh, opponent's playing tree. Opponent's playing tree color. Okay, now our opponent can pay the ward. In which case, yeah, let's. I was gonna say drop another creature, but our opponent already conceded at that point. There we go. That's going to be it for this episode of Magic Arena Run. Yeah, keeping it simple, paying attention to your mana base. Yeah, our opponent got screwed over by the mana base in that one. Anyway, so that's going to be it for this episode of Magic Arena Run. If you like what you saw, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Turn on notifications and whatnot. I will have the updated deck list in the description. And as always, thank you guys so much for watching. Hope to see you guys again next time. Take care, God bless, stay safe wherever you are. Have a great week, everyone. Take care.